Here I am again at the church on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Just gonna get in the car.
0 feet altitude, 4 feet distance, 0 miles per hour, 97% battery.
I'm getting in the car because it's sunny and it's hard to see what I'm doing.
Mission ended.
Just want to get a good focus point before I do anything. Focus on the tower. There he is. Can only hope it's good. Off we go. Very hard to see the screen.
276 feet altitude, 1 feet distance, 2 miles per hour, 92% battery.
I got my lens hood on there, that's what that bending is. I'm going to say the focus is alright. Can never really tell till I see it on the big screen. My flight last night was a little unfocused. So this is just going to kind of do the same route that I've been flying, but only going backwards the other direction. So beautiful day to fly, very little to no wind. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday. Spring ahead, fall back night.
291 feet altitude, 1910 feet distance, 26 miles per hour, 88% battery.
Been starting to pay more attention to the write speed of the video, the SD cards that I'm using, because I was watching a video yesterday I shot with the SanDisk Extreme, which is supposed to be one of the best ones. And I noticed if the camera's at an angle, you know, not facing forward, and the drone's turning, the video looks choppy. So it's like not the best write speed. And the problem is that there's a lot of fucking counterfeits out there. So it's really hard to tell a difference if it's a real one or not. So I was going to buy a 64 gig, but I'm like, wait a minute, I have to find out for sure. I want to make sure that it's not a counterfeit, because I did get a counterfeit one off of Amazon, and it was failing what it would do.
Feet altitude, 4,100
it would stop recording for a second in the middle when it got to the end of a video block, which is like about 4 gigs, and it goes to create a new one. The card wasn't fast enough, and what was shutting the camera off, and so it take like 30 seconds for it to come back on to get a picture again. And I took a picture because it was a SanDisk, and it was under warranty, and I sent all the information to them, you know, online, and they said it was a counterfeit. And I had bought that one on from Amazon, so I you know, filed a little whatever complaint with Amazon, and the seller never responded to me, so they refunded me. But you really got to be careful. It looked real. I guess the numbers in the sequence on the back of the card didn't make any sense.
291 feet altitude, 5,890 feet distance, 22 miles per hour.
Another thing they said to watch out for is sloppy printing on the front of the card. If it looks a little blurry or it's not, like, doesn't look perfect, it's probably a fake. So live and learn. Then when I'm done here, I'm going to go, that's facing the apple orchard. I'm going to go over there next. I wanted to do a mission yesterday, but I had to abort because it was windy. And I must have saw about 120 deer out there yesterday in all the different fields. It was like, oh my God, look at how many there are. I couldn't see when I was flying because I was flying a mission, but I'm watching the video. I'm like, oh my God. Couldn't believe how many there were. Again, this is the drone that I repaired, bought off eBay, broken. I'm going to keep this one and I'm going to sell Joni McDroneface.
292 feet altitude. 6,245 feet distance. 8 miles per hour. 74% battery.
Something's wrong.
Mission ended.
Here we get to see a real-time attack on a DJI Mavic Pro drone. My drone was attacked today by a hawk from behind, and we'll see any second. There we go. Hit number 1, hit number 2, and you can see the wingtip fluttering on the upper left-hand side. The reason I found it so quickly was because I have a GPS tracker on board, because it crashed. Okay, so here we go. It's gonna, I believe right there. It happened really quick. I mean, that's what my real-time view looked like. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm a mile away and I'm flying it because it was a Lecce mission. But this, I slowed this thing down to about 25%, and you see the wingtips of the bird. And the bird was killed, by the way, and I found it about 100 feet away from the drone. Rest in peace. It's unfortunate, but it's a bird of prey. It attacked a machine and it lost. So it's kind of, well, here we go. It's the bird apparently has a grasp of it. It's not moving forward anymore. It's actually going sideways because this thing should be going straight, and it's pulling it. And I think it's committed to the fact that it's not going to let it go, but the blades are still spinning. And so somewhere during this point, the blades actually probably killed the bird, and it lost grip, and the picture goes out, and the bird crashes, and my drone crashes. As crazy as this sounds, my drone crashed. I found it on next to I-90, and there's a dead hawk up here. Bird strike. Where is he? Right there. And a hawk. Unbelievable. And here's the damage done to the drone by the bird attack. This little piece here. That was broken off before I glued it. That came off. I gotta glue that on. Had to order a new top cover because it's cracked in the back. Kind of hard to see it, but it's cracked. There you go, see that? So that was about $8. Two of the props were broken, but I just took them and threw them away because I don't trust them after a crash, because they could get cracked and they could fail in flight on you and you get another crash right after that. I got the camera taken apart. I put a new gimbal in because I had a spare, and it works fine, but when I put the drone back together, I messed up the video cable, and I have to get another one because I cut one of the fiber optic things in there. And this little landing pad, that came out. I had a lens hood on it too, and that came off. I didn't see it. I kind of like thought it was still on there, and then I went to put it on the other drone, like, oh, must have been on the ground. I didn't notice it. But what else? Front landing leg. Yeah, this is broken here. And I have to get a whole new one because the top is cracked and the light's broken. So, but that was about, I don't know, $12. I got one coming from China. But it's about maybe $40, $50 worth of damage, which is repairable. It fires up fine. It's just that I need to get these other parts. And that's pretty much the extent of it. I found it pretty much right away. And I'm just going to show you how my my GPS is configured. Just wanted to show how I customized my GPS module. It's one of those readily available. I forget the model number, but they're all over eBay. They're not that expensive. This one's probably about $13, $14. It's a clone, but it works. But I shockproofed it. What I did with it was I opened it up. I modified the battery terminals so they can't get disconnected, and I filled the inside with a lot of silicone so nothing will move around inside. Because with these things, they're so cheaply made, once they get a little bit of shock, the battery disconnects and it goes dead. So if your drone crashes and you got one of these on there, don't be surprised if you can't find it because it's going to shut itself off. So with that, this is secured by a mount that I got on eBay. It's 3D printed, which is, it's on its own, I would never trust it. So I wrapped it up with a Velcro strap that goes all the way around the bottom and in between the sensors. I'm going back a little bit. I put it on quick just to make this video. So it doesn't block the sensors. And the other benefit to having this is the battery won't come out. So when you get near where I found this about a mile away. It was actually on I-90, the highway. I had to go all the way up I-90, all the way back. And then I was getting the GPS signal from this thing. And it sure enough brought me right to it. And the battery was still on and the drone was still powered up. So as I got nearby, my remote controller reconnected. So I knew it was right there. But normally the battery would have came out and that would have failed and I never would have found the drone. Because the last fix that I had on GPS, from where the bird hit it, it was the area I would have been looking for it, and it was about 500-600 feet away in the opposite direction. I never would have thought of looking there, so I never would have found it. But there you go. Bird strike.